Hey guys, welcome. In this video, we will talk about in detail and understand what exactly is distortion resistance for every single type of ship components in Star Citizen. Your power plants, your shields, coolers, quantum drive, radar, and so on. Every single component has one very important stats: distortion resistance. Understanding it is especially important during EMP or distortion warfare. So in this video, I'm gonna do my best to make you understand what exactly this is, and we're also gonna do some fun Star Citizen science regarding this. Now, let's go. First of all, the easiest understanding of distortion resistance is the component's ability to resist distortion. Now, what is distortion? Distortion is a type of damage to our ship components, our weapons, maybe the Titan suits can also take distortion damage as well. So whatever can be damaged can take distortion damage. But of course, different things will react in different way when taking distortion damage, and that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in this video, related to our ship components. As of right now, in Star Citizen, we have three major type of damage that can do to our ship and components. One is blisk damage. As we all know, blisk damage can damage shield, but it can also penetrate through shield and do direct armor as well as hull damage. It can also penetrate through the ship hull to do component damage. And second type of damage is energy damage. The energy damage is 100% blocked by the shield, but once the shield is down, the energy damage can damage the armor, the hull, and also penetrate through the ship to do component damage. Now, the third type of damage will be the distortion damage. And the distortion damage is a bit special. First thing about distortion damage is that for almost all our ship shield, the distortion resistance is 95%. So if you look at the ship performance viewer website, whatever ship you choose, right here, you see physical, energy, and distortion. This is a shield resistance. So for majority of the ship shield, the distortion resistance is 95%, which means only 5% of the distortion damage is actually damaging the shield. The rest of the 95 is blocked. If you're new to the distortion warfare, so I'm gonna do a little test right now to make you understand. In front of me is Luke Skywalker, and he has two size 2 distortion repeaters on this Razor, but I am flying a FAC Lightning. Right now, I have full shield up. So he is going to shoot distortion at me. Okay, fire.
Shields hit.
You can see, he is going to shoot for a long time, but my shield is going down really slow. If you change these guns to laser repeater or even laser cannon, you can see a dramatic change of my shield going down. But right now, my shield is almost taking no damage. And once he stops shooting, my shield just recovers whatever damage is taken. It's only 5% of the damage that I'm taking from the distortion weapon. So this is the first important point. If you are building a distortion loadout for your ship, and if you're using that ship solo, it's going to be very ineffective against enemy's shield. If you bring a friend with laser weapons and then match together, that will be a good combination. If you're solo, you need to at least equip one laser weapon in order to effectively take down the enemy's shield, and then use the distortion weapon to do whatever the job the distortion weapon can do. So that's point number one. Point number two is the job that the distortion weapon can do is only at shut down the ship components. It's not going to damage the armor or the hull. But both ballistic and energy weapon will do physical damage to the ship. However, distortion weapon will not do physical damage to the ship. Not only that, let's do another fun test. The distortion weapon will not do physical damage to the people as well. So Luke is going to shoot at me. It may sound scary though. You have the hit effect and damaging sound. Oh yeah, I'm getting hit a lot. You can see my health is still 99%. I think heal myself, it's 100%. Yeah, so he is not damaging my health at all. And he does not shut me down either, because I am not a component, obviously, so I cannot be shut down. So that's in terms of people. But in terms of the ship damage, if I turn off my shield, here is what the distortion weapon can do to your ship. So I have no shield. And now you can see power plant distortion 16%. But in reality, every single component can take distortion damage. We're going to be talking about that in detail later. But the reason why power plant distortion is showing on your screen is that once the power plant is fully distorted, then your ship will be completely shut down. Let's do a shutdown for the ship. There we go. Power plant shut down. Now, right now I'm entering into a recovering phase. It says power plant distortion is going down. So as long as the enemy is not applying distortion damage, my power plant will recover. However, once my power plant recovered, I have to turn my components on again, either through the power management MFD or use some keybind. So shield on and off using keybind, engine. Now, one little tip is here. If you're really getting shut down by players or by NPC ships, because right now, NPC ships has distortion as well. The arrows, the Vanguard Sentinels. So in some of the PvE missions, you have the danger of getting shut down. Once you recovered from a distortion shutdown, I recommend you press I to turn the engine on right away, and then just boost away, leave the combat area. And then once you're safe, turn all other components on. So all you need to do is to turn the engine on for a quick second. But if you just leave engine on for an extended period of time without turning the cooler on, eventually your engine is going to overheat and then you can't fly the ship anymore. For every single component, you have this thing called distortion resistance. Under distortion resistance, we have four major factors. One is shutdown damage, and then decay delay, decay rate, and shutdown time. First is a shutdown damage. This is very easy to understand. Shutdown damage is, for example, this is power plant. So every component will have their different shutdown damage. So shield generator will have a different shutdown damage. So for the power plant, for example, the quadracell, if my ship has only one quadracell power plant, and if my power plant has taken 5,500 distortion damage, then this power plant will be shut down. That's it. Very simple. If I have two quadracell power plants, then just double that. 11,000 shutdown damage total. Once I'm taking 11,000 distortion damage, my power plant will be shut down. And every single distortion weapon, for example, distortion repeater, they have their own alpha damage, but that damage is all distortion. So physical damage 0, energy damage 0, but distortion damage 27 for this one. So that is the alpha damage applied to the power plant. Once that damage accumulates, once it reaches 5,500, the quadracell, this power plant will be shut down. So on this FAC Lightning, I have Maelstrom, which is one size 2 military grade C power plant. The shutdown damage is 6,500. So as long as Luke continuously apply 6,500 distortion damage to my ship, and then my ship will be shut down. However, if he stops, for example, right now he stops at 94%, then my ship will not be shut down. The moment he stops applying the distortion damage, I will enter into a decay delay, which is 3 seconds for this power plant. And now my ship is disabled. The moment my ship is disabled, as long as Luke is still keep shooting at me, I will keep having my power plant distorted. However, if he stops, then my ship will wait for about 3 seconds. Then it will enter into a cooldown. And this is the cooldown, which means the percentage will go down. And that time between when he stops shooting distortion at me to the time that I start the cooldown is the decay delay. For this power plant is 3 seconds, but I feel like it's shorter than that. And how much decay it will have depends on the decay rate for different components. So for this power plant, my decay rate is 433.3 distortion damage per second. So I'm shaking off this amount of distortion damage every single second. And now my power plant has been shut down again, so he stops firing after 3 seconds. I enter into the decay, which is whatever amount per second. And then when the number goes down to 0, my ship will be recovered. And that time between your ship start to shake off distortion until the ship is completely recovered is the shutdown time. The shutdown time is basically, when you do the math, is for example, the Maelstrom, 6,500 is the total distortion damage divided by 433.3, and that equals to 15 seconds. And plus that decay delay equals to 18 seconds. So that is a total shutdown time for your ship. In theory, it is. So the shutdown damage, decay delay, decay rate, shutdown time together constitute the distortion resistance for every single component, not just the power plant. Shield generators, this is a cooler, this is a radar, this is the quantum drive. Even the weapon itself also has distortion resistance. However, for weapons distortion resistance, first of all, the shutdown damage is 500,000 and the shutdown time is only 1 second. So you almost don't have to consider the distortion resistance for the weapon. And they're all equalized, the number. So you can consider the weapon doesn't take any distortion damage. If it does, it doesn't really affect anything. However, the components will be. As far as I can tell, there are total 3 sources of distortion damage that can apply to your ship. One is from a distortion weapon, like the distortion repeater or distortion cannons, or whatever weapon later when CIG developed different weapons which contains distortion damage. So from distortion weapon, you can take distortion damage. The second source is a EMP ship. For example, the Saber Raven, the Ammo Hawk, the Saber Raven, the Troll Mag Burst, EMP generator. Distortion damage is 2,750, and 2 of them, that's over 500, that's a lot. So EMP generator can apply distortion damage to your ship. And the third source will be from the environment. For example, the Stormbreaker, where we go fight the Apex Valakar, in those clouds, you will take distortion damage and your ship will be disabled. And the second source is the trench run from the TSG mission in this patch. And that distortion damage is not as strong as the Stormbreaker, but you still have to prepare yourself if you want to do the trench run, which we're going to be testing later in the video as well. So if you know that you are going to enter into a trench run or some kind of a distortion or EMP warfare, then you need to properly equip your ship with a better distortion or EMP protection. How do we do that? Let's take a look. First of all, the sizes of your component matters. So let's use the power plant as an example. What I have here are different sizes, but with the same class, all military grade A power plants. Now you can see for the Quadricell and JS300, they are size 1. Their distortion damage is 5,500. But the Quadricell MT and the JS400 size 2, their shutdown damage has been increased to 8,500. And for the Quadricell MX and JS500 size 3 power plant, the shutdown damage is 13,000. So the bigger the size, the higher the distortion resistance because of the higher shutdown damage, which is obvious because a capital ship cannot be easily distorted than a light fighter, right? So this is easy to understand. Second point, the quality of the components matters. By quality, I mean the grades. So we have here from grade A to grade D Size 2 military shields. The D grade has the lowest shutdown damage, 4,250. And then the C grade is higher, B grade even higher, and A grade will be the highest among this class. So FR76 is 6,500. Now the third point, which is the most important point of them all, class also matters. Let's actually use the power plants for our example. Okay, so size 2 power plants. We have military, industrial, stealth, civilian, and competition, all 5 classes. The military grade A power plants have the highest shutdown damage, 8,500. The second best is the industrial, 7,000. And then the third and the fourth will be stealth. The worst is competition, only 3,150. Less than half of what the military components has. And this is true for other components as well. For example, the shield generators. Military shields will have the highest shutdown damage. However, the stealth shield has the least 3,850. I also want to check the radar. This is especially important during the trench run in the TSG, because in the trench run you need to keep your radar functional in order to scan for the cooling units or scan the terrains. If your radar gets shut down too quickly, then you will lose that ability. It will increase the danger for the trench run. So for the size 1 grade C radar, the best will be the military, and the worst will be the competition. The competition B radar is recommended in multiple occasions because of its low power requirements. However, if you are equipping this ship just for the trench run, then you do need to consider military radars in order to keep your radar functional inside the trenches. For the size 2 ships, this is the same. Military radar is the best, and then competition radar is the worst. So with this knowledge in mind, if we are building a ship just for the trench run, or building a ship just to resist EMP or distortion, then military components will have the highest advantage. Stealth and competition is inferior in this regard. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, time for our trench run test. And we're going to use this trench run test to test out the component distortion resistance. For this test, I have prepared 2 ships. So 2 FAC Lightning. This first one right here is with components that has very low distortion resistance. But the second one right here is all military components. So its distortion resistance is pretty high. For the first ship, even though my cooler is military cooler, but cooler in the trench run isn't that important because we're not gonna stay in the trench for too long. However, my power plant is LexCore. As we talked about earlier, LexCore is really bad at distortion resistance. Also, my radar is a competition B radar. Also, my shield generator are stealth shield generator. So all these components have very low distortion resistance. Let's go. All right, we're gonna start from gate A. Oh, got missiles. Oh, okay, go into the trench. Let's go. You can see my distortion.
Here's an idea. Can I hire you to just
Oh shoot, my distortion goes up really quick, 16%. 24%. 25.
Forward proximity alert.
37. I need to turn back if it reaches 40. Yeah, need to turn back. No time.
Starboard.
46%. I can't even reach the middle.
Forward proximity.
And my radar still works right now. 56. Wow, this is crazy. This is worse than some of... Oh, my radar just down. Yeah, 72%. I cannot ping anymore, but I'm already out. 77%. I only went halfway of gate A. So LexCore power plant cannot take the hit. And right now my radar just recovered.
Target destroyed.
Okay, now get to the next ship. This ship is with all military components. You can see I have 5 radar pips total. So I have Polar, which is the military cooler, and Maelstrom, military C power plant, and Equator is the military grade C radar. Also shield, full stop, military grade C shield. So even though they are not grade A, but grade A, as we talked about earlier, grade A is much better, but I haven't looted any grade A military components, nor have I crafted any. So this is the best I can do. Launch. Okay, back to gate A again. And now just pay attention to my radar ping as well as the increase of the distortion. Let's go.
Proximity alert.
You can see 1%, 2%. This is much slower than the other one.
Forward proximity alert.
I still have my radar.
You've any idea how long it took us to fortify this place?
Forward proximity alert.
21%. That's the last cooling unit. I think this is it for this one.
Starboard proximity alert.
So I can go. Yeah, reaching the core at 30% something. Now go to gate B.
Proximity alert.
And oh, I missed one. Okay, let's keep going because I don't have a whole lot of time here.
Forward proximity alert.
You know,
Oh, the smoke.
we had a really nice thing going. We were left alone,
I still-
doing our thing.
Alert.
I still have my
Then we
radar.
can't turn around without running into one of
63%.
Forward proximity alert.
And very easily coming out. Make a full circle coming out at
Starboard proximity alert.
at 71%. Oh, this is not good. Yeah, the FAC has pretty wide wings. If you clip it, then it's dangerous. Glad I brought a backup ship. And this ship is just stock components. Polar, Maelstrom, shoot. This is a stealth shield, but I do have a competition B radar. So this will be another good test. Let's see how long my radar can last in there.
Tranquility's lost. That is it.
Oh, mission failed. Okay, this time I'm going to gate C. Okay, let's go. Cooling unit. You can see my distortion
Forward
accumulates still quite slow compared with the first one, with the Lex core.
Forward proximity alert.
I still have my radar, that's good.
Port proximity alert. Forward proximity alert. Forward proximity alert. Tobii.
Oh, I lost my radar. At 35%, I lost my radar.
Proximity alert.
This is not good. But the second run, I kept my radar all the way until I got out. But right now, I just simply lost my radar. So that is the radar problem. In the trench run, you really need a military radar. The competition radar is not going to cut it. Now I have to eyeball everything.
Proximity
So it increases my chance of casualty. And hard to see the cooling units.
forward proximity alert.
However, with Maelstrom, military grade C power plant, I am making it out. Less than 80% of distortion. And then wait for it to cool down, and I'm gonna go in again. Still have yeah, my radar just recovered. You can see I missed a couple cooling units in this tunnel. So
Forward proximity
let's go.
alert.
Oh, yeah, one right here I missed.
Forward proximity alert.
And one somewhere here. Yep, I missed this one. Okay, so this tunnel is cleared.
Alert.
Oh, actually, there's one more here. I think this is...
Tobii.
Oh, that's from the other tunnel. The mission has failed, unfortunately, because my Idris purpled the Tranquility. So basically, I destroyed it. That's why I don't see the mission marker anymore.
Proximity alert.
But for this test, I can finish it. Now, I just lost my radar, but I see this last. Yeah, last cooling unit is done.
Forward proximity alert.
Now, let's get out here.
Proximity
Oh.
alert.
There is a little turn here. Without radar, it's really hard to see the terrain. So I have to eyeball it really well. And watch out for my wings when I get out. Oh!
Starboard proximity.
No! Every time.
Ending
Oh.
raised.
Okay, my shield is also down. If you notice that. And now my shield just recovered. Because stealth shield is not as good as military shield. Okay, I'm gonna go back in again and then go out from, I think, Bravo is the tunnel.
Proximity alert.
No, I still have radar, it's good. But around 37% I'll lose my radar. Okay, reaching the core at 24%. Oh, the core has been exposed. So cooling unit has been destroyed. Okay, one core destroyed. Oh, I don't have enough capacitor to destroy the other core. That's why I like ballistics in here. So I need to
Forward proximity alert.
get out quick. Go out. Yes! 96%.
Starboard proximity alert.
Very close. Okay, let's go again. Second core destroyed. Oh, okay. Third core destroyed. 50% distortion. I gotta get out. Quick.
Forward proximity alert.
Oh! I should just kill one core and come out and then come back. Sometimes when you get greedy, then it will be the death of you. Especially when you do TSG solo. But I think I've made my point. And the test is really representative. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.